happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. You guys can probably already tell it is going down. Just by that title alone, guys, we're definitely going to want to see this one as we're witnessing yet another explosion on the set Fox News the 5. We got that Fox News the 5 host, Harold Ford Jr., back at it again, guys. His Trump derangement syndrome has got him stepping all the way out of line in this newest segment. But good thing we've got that Fox News the 5 host, Judge Jeanine, they're walking right back into his respective spot in this newest update, guys. I'm excited to get into it. So we're not straight into it. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we get into it, you guys, hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button for your boy. And without further ado, let's hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
All right, Jesse, I'm going to start with you. What's with the handshake? Is it a power move?
No, it's a power move, all right, Judge.
What is it?
I've been the victim of the power move. When he grabs you, he pulls you in all of a sudden if you don't realize it. It's symbolic because it shows he's in control. And America is in control. I mean, you look at France, they're throwing up tariffs against California wine. They're not really paying their fair share of NATO. We protect them. They're suing the bejesus out of Google. It's time for America to assert a little bit of power, and it's fun to watch. I liked what he said about Prince William. He goes, he's better looking in person. Now, as someone who's been the victim of that compliment many times, it's obviously in the royal family's head now. People say that, Jesse, you look so skinny in person. Thank you? What do I look like on television? I hate when people say that, so maybe Trump had a reason for saying that. Maybe he's going to deport his brother, too. It's good that the president is demanding respect, because Biden didn't demand respect. Remember, Biden's getting lost in jungles. He's falling asleep. He's pardoning his son. They rolled out the red carpet for a sitting president. And he might as well be the sitting president because he's dictating trade and immigration terms. He's taking meetings with CEOs and world leaders. This guy is running things, and he's not even there yet. I heard he wanted to light the White House Christmas tree, Dana.
All right, I'll go.
Oh my good. Jesse Waters is hitting the nail right on the head, though. This guy, Donald Trump, this is what we voted for. Put someone that's actually an adult back in charge. It felt like we had, the kids running this, or the preteens running the show for the last 4 years, running around with attitudes and hormones flaring. Now we've got someone who's a true adult, a stern leader going to show up, and these other world leaders are respecting that. This is what the people voted for. Come on now, y'all.
Yet I heard he wanted to light the White House Christmas tree, Dana.
All right, I'll go to Dana with that. Dana, Biden has 42 days left, and they're pushing him to do all kinds of things like executive orders to stop Trump, give more money to Ukraine. Now we hear the FDA is going to make a move real fast to get rid of the color in candies because it's got some kind of pesticide or something in it. Should Biden help his party, or do you think he's angry and he ought to just say, well, you've been blaming me for the loss, to hell with you?
I think it's fascinating that basically it's Jesus take the wheel. There is nobody in charge. And
that is a great point. I think about that so many times where you just see throughout the whole entire presidential campaign, we had Kamala Harris, Donald Trump going at it, but then you would see things going on and there would be no response from Joe Biden. It's been like this thing has been on autopilot.
It's Jesus take the wheel. There is nobody in charge. And don't take it from us. Look at all of the blind quotes from Democrats quoted all throughout the media today saying, what is he doing? He's just frittering away the last 6 weeks. Yes, they're doing, one of the things they're doing that's really bad is they're shoveling out as much of that green energy project stuff as they can. And Jesse, you could do a little investigation as to who got rich out of that, because that is a huge problem. It is incredible to see how Biden ran in 2020 saying, world leaders love me, and they mock Trump behind his back. To world leaders saying, we don't even want to talk about Joe Biden. All we want to do is meet with President Trump. But they also are doing this for their own benefit, okay? Because they know there's a new sheriff in town, but in their own countries, this strain of populism and frustration with migration, especially in Western Europe, is leading governments to be toppled. And they realize that, so they're trying to get on board.
She's so right about that. I mean, a lot of these leaders obviously are, I mean, they realize that Trump has the power, but they also, they understand that it's probably a good thing for them in their own country. But what about Jill and Trump? So Jill, she's smiling at him. She and her husband call him Hitler forever and how horrible he was. And then Donald Trump is such a genius. He turns around and he basically says, with his new cologne, even your enemies can't resist.
I mean, come on. He's not wrong to say that. We even seen that with folks like Whoopi Goldberg and those ladies on The View. At one point in time, they were in love, adored Donald Trump. It's only when you bring the politics into it where they say they don't like this guy. Jill Biden's even, she's been a victim of it at this point. Donald Trump's a charmer.
He turns around and he basically says, with his new cologne, even your enemies can't resist. So he turns it into a commercial.
Right. I'm surprised he didn't say, show in the picture, have him on one of the Trump watches on at the same time. But they hit it off. They seem to be charmed, and they contrasted that with the Vice President Kamala Harris, Vice President for now, but she's invisible. They seem to be an icy stare between them. They never got along. And I guess she still holds some resentment for the fact that everybody stabbed her husband in the back, and then she filled the void. But I'm struck by a couple of things. Number one, it's not that Trump was winning and it looks like he's going to win. He's won, so they know he's coming, and they know exactly what to expect. And I think two things are happening. Number one, they know what to expect. And number two is they were so dismissive in the beginning. Remember John Kerry in France saying, don't worry, we're going to impeach him anyway. It wasn't really an election. Vladimir Putin got him the win. So the whole world was like, who is this guy? America doesn't like him. They don't accept him. There's controversy with his victory. Now that he's left and sees who replaced him, they're saying, I miss the other guy. And a lot of his ideas were right about NATO paying the fair share, about trying to get the Abrahams going in the Middle East. And I thought it was very candid of him to say, with Macron in his version of the Oval Office, the world's a mess right now. He's like, your government collapsed. Germany's a mess. Look at the Middle East. Bashar Assad's hanging out in Moscow with Edward Snowden. And now who's running that country? So all hell's breaking loose. And by the way, Iran's never been more vulnerable. So when Trump takes over, Trump is in an interesting spot now. It's almost like preseason. You get to plan exactly what you're going to do when you take over. So I'm finding it fascinating. And the other thing I love is Trump's demeanor. He looks so confident but not cocky. He looks in control, taking it all in. This week, welcome Jeff Bezos to Mar-a-Lago. Everyone's coming to him. Things are coming around. They want him seeing fixing things.
Yeah, Bezos, Zuckerberg, Trudeau comes running from Canada.
I mean, come on. You seen what he did with Trudeau. He literally is telling them right now that he's a governor. He keeps mocking him on Truth Social. If you guys have been seeing Donald Trump's posts, saying that basically they could become a sovereign state, United States of America, and we'd make Justin Trudeau a governor of Canada. I mean, come on, you guys. The power that Donald Trump is showing right now, it's just truly remarkable. I'm excited to see what he does.
Zuckerberg, Trudeau comes running from Canada. But, we're seeing now what a real president does in terms of the time and the energy. I mean, our president goes to a G7 or a summit of some sort. He can't even show up for dinner. He's so tired. This is good. This is the beginning where we all have to get ourselves exercise to keep up.
Can I talk?
Yeah.
So, see,
do you agree with that, or you think Joe Biden was really on top of his game?
I think this is what happens when you have a new president come in from this standpoint. For the world to see Joe Biden and President Trump have that kind of interaction.
It's good.
When the world knows the kinds of things that were said.
The better question is, where was Joe Biden at? This was supposed to be another world leader meeting. Pretty sure it was in Paris. I want to say in Paris. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but where is Joe Biden? He sends Jill. I'm pretty sure he sent his daughter. Where's Joe at? Come on now. It shouldn't even have been Jill and Donald Trump. It should have been Trump and Biden sitting there, but that's crazy.
And Trump have that kind of interaction.
It's good.
When the world knows the kinds of things that were said about one another by each of them. For the world to even see when Donald Trump succeeded Barack Obama with the exchanges that the two of them had, and that we have this peaceful exchange of power, I think it's just a continuation from the day when Joe Biden and Donald Trump met in the Oval Office, and it was as peaceful and as compelling a meeting as one would want in their presidents, too. I'm rooting, I hope every American is rooting for President Trump at this very moment, and we'll be able to continue rooting for him. We have a messy world. I would argue that Joe Biden, as we sit here today from 4 years ago, Ukraine is stronger, Russia is weaker, Iran is weaker because
Ukraine is stronger?
than 4 years ago. Absolutely.
Well, I don't know. I would say Ukraine may be strong, but the only reason why they're strong is because we've had a sitting president who's literally just been shoveling over our tax dollars over to them in order to fuel that war. So, I mean, he might be right on that point. We're just missing the mark.
I would argue that Joe Biden, as we sit here today from 4 years ago, Ukraine is stronger, Russia is weaker, Iran is weaker because
Ukraine is stronger?
than 4 years ago, absolutely. Than 2 years ago before they were invaded. The day they were invaded, I recall coming on this show and we thought that they would fall within 2 weeks. This is not a statement about rooting for or against anyone. I'm only saying President Trump, the world views him in a certain way. And the world views him and respects him in ways, which I think your question was trying to get at, Judge, in ways that they didn't with President Biden. Having said that, I'm rooting for him because I want the country to do well. I don't think he undermined President Biden by being in Paris. I think Mrs. Biden being there and their daughter being there was a wonderful thing. And I'm glad to hear that Prince William's better looking in person than he is there. I've had a few say that as well, Jesse.
No.
But the bottom line is we need allies as we try to counter North Korea and Iran and Russia and China. And there's no one that knows it better than President Trump. And I'm rooting for him in that quest.
We need a president who knows how to get other countries to respect us.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Judge Jeanine with a very great point there at the end where she says we need to get back to when we had a president that made other countries respect us. And that's simply what we're seeing Donald Trump displaying through all these clips ever since he has been or became our president-elect. It just seems like his whole demeanor, his tone has switched. He has flipped the switch for sure. I mean, when you're seeing Trump in these clips, he looks like he means business, full-on game face on. This guy is not one you want to mess around with. And that's simply what the country has been needing for these last 4 years and have been neglected of. We got a leader who's truly going to show up for the people. Guys, definitely hop in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. What are you guys thinking? What can you make of it all? Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you did enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one.